and you all know I'm a process guy. If this administration did not contact Monmouth County prosecutor when they should have, that's a problem. And I say, note that I say if. Letting the prosecutor's office do their job was the right thing. That's what we all did. We sat tight while that process unfolded. But it's absolutely unacceptable to me that the Monmouth County prosecutor's office wrapped up their investigation, sent their report to this town over a month ago, and the administration did not share that fact with the council. It's unacceptable that we had 2 meetings right here in this chamber in late January and in the middle of February. And the administration had this report and they didn't say anything. Now we're told that the rest of the council is going to get a redacted report, a redacted version of the report. And again, on some level, I find that unacceptable. And unfortunately, you know, when there's distractions like this, there are things that are not getting done in this town. For example, we have a DPW contract that needs to be negotiated and finalized, like job 1. There's a list I could go through. So that's all I'm going to say on the recent events.
With regard to the incident on Main Street, as Councilman Weber said, yes, our police department is made up of more than the chief. It's made up of great men and women of the police department. But this administration is made up of more than the mayor and the BA. It's made up of the men and women on this council. I was stunned to learn that this report came out such a long time ago, and I feel like we've been left in the dark. This community has been implored, our tight-knit community has been implored to turn a blind eye and improve itself in the wake of this scandal. Residents are left not only admonished for their outrage, but now forced again to pay for yet another administrative misstep.
The Main Street incident that many of you are here for tonight involving our police department. Bradley Beach is a wonderful town, and it simply does not deserve this international black eye. We need to replace raw emotions and anger with logic and cooperation. The people I have the greatest respect for are the brave men and women in our Bradley Beach Police Department. They continue to do their jobs, protect the public, put their lives at risk, all while surrounded by this intense media scrutiny. It's unfortunate that Mayor Fox has kept this investigation shielded from our borough attorney, Mr. Cannon, and from the borough council. I believe the mayor acted illegally in doing so, ignoring our ordinances that authorize council involvement in any police investigation. I don't understand the mayor's motives, although I will say that in our executive session, he did share them for the first time, but his unilateral actions have only contributed to this media frenzy. And finally, given Mayor Fox's total disregard for the authority of this council, I'd like to make a motion for a vote of no confidence in our mayor's ability to perform his duties. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Mr. Gubatose?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Fox?
No. Thank you.
Council President Dinoble.
I just want to follow up with what Councilman Gubertosi said and reiterate, this has been a distressing time for the entire borough. And we all need to work together now twice as hard to put the pieces back together. And we want to create a Bradley Beach that's better for our residents, for our employees, for our friends, for our visitors. And I'm up to that challenge, along with the support of my fellow council members. And I hope that the healing process can begin and our police department can now successfully move forward under new leadership.
And I'll just kind of read it because I also want to get into the record. So I'll start with, I was first made aware of the November 9th incident, the morning of November 10th. I was made aware of that by Chief Guida. He met with me, described the incident, and stated that Lieutenant Browning was involved in the internal investigation, and that the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office would be involved because it dealt with a chief or a head of a police group. A week later, I met with the assistant prosecutor, two of her associates, and the business administrator to review the incident. That's the first opportunity I had to review the video. The assistant prosecutor recommended that the chief take vacation time until the investigation was completed, that she thought would be done in December, which it wasn't. We made the decision to go the route of administrative leave. And why did we do that? Well, we thought it was more appropriate in that administrative leave basically says you're not performing any police duties. Vacation, accrued vacation time, you're still a part of the department and can operate within the department. Administrative leaves more stringent and more defined. So at the time, and I still believe the case, the assistant prosecutor appreciated the action we were taking. I met with Chief Guida that afternoon and communicated that direction. I also sent an email to the council letting them know that this was taking place that day. And I'll say I am grateful to the prosecutor's office for their professionalism and the experience that guided the investigation. So again, I thought we'd receive this report in mid-December. It wasn't delivered until the latter part of January. That report, it's called the Summary and Conclusions Report, is a series. From there, a series of meetings ensued. So a report doesn't mean you're done. A report means, okay, this is the findings, this is the conclusions. From there, there were a number of phone calls or a number of meetings with the prosecutor's office, with our labor attorney, with our police captain, with Chief Guida and his counsel, the borough administrator, myself. There are a number of steps that were taken to get to ensure that is this conclusion appropriate and are we all aligned? So we came to that conclusion just recently. The conclusion section of the prosecutor's report as it relates to disciplinary action, basically, I'll read it because it will be out shortly. Pursuant to section 5.1.8 of the IAPP, this office may make a disciplinary recommendation with respect to the above findings. In our investigating, the Chief Guida, it is our understanding, I'm sorry, that Chief Guida will be retiring March 1st, 2024, and they'll be using accumulated leave time through this date of retirement. Given these circumstances, which presupposes that Chief Guida does not return to Bradley Beach Police Department in any capacity, we do not make a disciplinary recommendation. So I won't go into the whole report, but I will say that the chief is retiring as of March 1st, this Friday. That's a full 7 months before that's anticipated. So if you look at the accumulated vacation time, since January 1st, he's been using accumulated vacation time, although he's still in a state of administrative leave. He's not interfacing with the department. Between those two, the vacation time and the 7 months, it's a fairly significant shift in his income and revenue for this period of time, a very significant amount. Clearly, this whole series of events is unfortunate for the individuals involved in our community. I'm hoping we can move through this. I am grateful to the prosecutor, Santiago, and the assistant prosecutor, Falco, along with the other people in the Monmouth County Police Prosecutor's Office that worked through the series of events and issues. Our labor attorney also, and Mr. Marco and Captain Arnold. So a couple comments were made about this being an international incident and it being all over the internet. We could have gotten a report on January 1st and the same thing would have happened. This was an Oprah video of body cam. Anybody can Oprah body cam. It gets reviewed. There's redactions done on it, but that's going to happen no matter what. So the idea that something could have changed relative to that, it's not going to happen. It's just a process that is there. I mean, as Erica is nodding her head, she's the Oprah person here. There's also been some questions about, well, why didn't we suspend or why didn't we do some things without pay? There is a due process element to this. I think once we put the chief on administrative leave, he did exactly what we asked him to do. We did the investigation. I will say that this is my first investigation in an area like this. And we took the lead of the Monmouth County's prosecutor's office, as we should have. Anytime it's a investigation of a police chief or a head of a police group, they take the lead, and they took the lead from basically end to end, which I do very much appreciate. So this idea that this was concluded a month ago and we've been just sitting on this is not the case. We've just concluded, and last week, actually, at middle of the week, the conversation began and initiated by the prosecutor's office about what would be released and how it would be released, whether it's a full report or redacted report. And that we actually just received a memo from the prosecutor probably 2 hours ago, defining that and delineating that a little bit better. So, you know, that conversation took place middle of last week to the end of this week, end of last week. The information I got, and again, the confidentiality of this, even in the memo we just got from the prosecutor, really stresses confidentiality and not discerning any of these reports for obvious reasons. There's people in the book that they don't want to have being questioned or to go any further with. So that's where it is. I know everybody's emotional about this. I can understand it. I'm not happy about it either. Do I think we took the right steps in a timely manner? I think we did. People might not agree with that or might not like it, but I appreciate the fact that Lieutenant Browning, I think the night of and then the next day, took the action that you're designated to take and did it appropriately and did his duty. And I very much appreciate that. I appreciate Captain Arnold, who has worked with the department along with lieutenants and kept things on an even keel with the community. I think we've continued to have a safe community, and I do very much appreciate that. As this concludes, you know, I don't know how if it will conclude in the short term, because there are, I just can't predict that. So at this point, that's my statement, and we will go to the next agenda item.